Good morning, everyone. I hope you all are fit and healthy. So, dear students, now we are going to observe the conditions which are related to the functioning of heart. So, first one is palpitations. What is this palpitation? It is the feeling in which the person feels that his heart rate has been increased. The person feels that his heartbeats are unusually very rapid, and palpitations, these are generally not harmful, but they can be a sign of some serious heart disease. What are the causes of palpitations? Palpitations could be felt after a person has done very hard physical activity or intense situation, or when the person is in stress or anxiety, and it may be due to smoking and heavy drinking, and there may be abnormal functioning of auricles, that is the heart chamber. Then the next one is the cardiac arrest. Cardiac arrest means the heart fails to pump blood. Heart, it is a pumping organ, and when the heart fails to pump blood, then this is referred to as cardiac arrest. Means the heart has been arrested. Now heart will not be able to pump blood, and in this case the symptoms will be the person will feel no breathing, the person will lose his consciousness. And what are the conditions that lead to cardiac arrest? These are coronary artery disease. Coronary artery disease, coronary artery is the artery which supplies oxygenated blood to the heart muscles. If there is a blockage in this coronary artery, then this may also lead to failure of heart to pump blood. Then the next one is major blood loss or enlargement of the heart muscles, that is cardiac muscles. When they enlarges, then this may also lead to cardiac arrest, and there may be low potassium in the blood, or there may be leakage or narrowing of the heart valves, that is tricuspid, bicuspid valve or semilunar valve, or there may be abnormal activity of ventricles. All these conditions lead to sudden failure of heart to pump blood. Next, what are the risk factors for cardiac arrest? It is family history, high blood cholesterol level, overweight, high blood pressure, and use of drugs. Next one is hypertension. What is hypertension? It is high blood pressure. You know that high blood pressure is referred to as hypertension, and in a normal healthy individual the normal blood pressure is 120 by 80 millimeters of mercury. So when the blood pressure rises by 120 by 80, that is 140 by 90, then this condition is referred to as hypertension. In case of hypertension, the ventricles get thickened, and when the ventricles get thickened, there will be more working of the heart, and then there will be more pressure felt in the arteries. So this is referred to as hypertension. And what are the causes of hypertension? It is maybe due to hereditary factor or due to lack of physical activity. It may be due to stress. It may be use of oral contraceptives or cigarette smoking or use of processed food. Then the next one is heart attack. What is heart attack? It is decrease in the blood supply to the heart muscles due to clotting or blockage in the coronary artery which supplies blood to the heart muscles. We have studied that this is the heart, let us assume, and from the ventricle there is the aorta. Aorta arises. This aorta branches into coronary artery. So coronary artery is the artery which supplies oxygenated blood to heart muscles. When there is a blockage in this coronary artery, or there is a clotting in the coronary artery, then there will be decreased supply of oxygenated blood to heart muscles, and this may lead to condition that is referred to as heart attack. And now let us see another important topic, that is lymphatic system. Lymphatic system, it consists of lymph vessels and lymph nodes. So in lymph, what is lymph? It is a filtered fluid. It is a filtered blood. Basically lymph is a blood from which the proteins and RBCs has been removed. So in the blood, you know that there are blood proteins, that is albumin, fibrinogen, globulin, these are the blood proteins, and RBCs, that is red blood cells. When from the blood proteins and RBCs has been removed, then that fluid will be referred to as lymph. Now since RBCs, that is red color of the blood, is due to RBCs, when it has been removed, then obviously the blood will be clear and watery. So lymph is a clear, watery, filtered blood. It is without proteins and RBCs, and it flows in lymphatic vessels. So let us see what is lymph, lymphatic vessels and lymph node. So here, let us assume this is the artery, this is the organ, and this is the vein. So to understand this, you need to remember that artery, it here oxygenated blood is present, oxygenated blood is flowing. This artery branches into very fine branches, that is known as capillary. Then in the capillary there will be exchange of materials, that is oxygen will be given, oxygen from the blood will be given to the organ, that is body cells, and carbon dioxide will be again returned back into the blood through the capillaries, and these capillaries finally join and they will form vein. So here in the capillaries, from the capillaries there will be leakage of the fluid, leakage of the blood. So what are the materials that will be leaked from this blood? It will be blood, but here in this fluid which is entered in this organs, there will be no proteins and RBCs, and this fluid which has been leaked in the organ, it is referred to as tissue fluid, or it is also known as interstitial fluid. Now this interstitial fluid or tissue fluid, it has been captured, it has been entered into the small branches, that is referred to as lymphatic capillary. This lymphatic capillary again joins and these form lymphatic vessels. In this lymphatic vessels, it is basically the blood from which proteins, RBCs has been removed, that is the lymph has been flowing, that is tissue fluid or the interstitial fluid will enter in the lymphatic capillary, then to lymph vessel. So tissue fluid, when it has entered in the lymphatic system, then it will be referred to as lymph. Lymph is when the tissue fluid or the interstitial fluid, it has entered in the lymphatic vessel, then it will be referred to as lymph. Now this lymphatic vessels, they will again enter and join the vein. So basically the blood, that is lymph, will again enter into the vein. Now there will be lymphatic tissue present. Lymphatic tissue is rich in lymphocytes, that is WBCs. WBCs or lymphocyte, group of lymphocyte, it is referred to as lymph node. So this is about the lymph. Now what is the role of this lymph node? Lymph node is which is rich in WBCs or lymphocytes. It is basically acting as a channel, checking center. It check whether if in the blood there is any pathogen or bacteria is there, then it will send signal to the whole body. So this lymph node, which is WBCs or lymphocyte, it will send a signal to the whole body if there will be any bacteria or pathogen present in the blood. So this is about the lymphatic system that consists of lymph nodes and lymph vessels. So now let us see what are the functions of lymph. Lymph basically acts as a middleman between blood and tissue fluid, and its lymphocytes, it destroys the harmful pathogens. There are two lymphatic organs in your body, that is thymus and spleen, and tonsils and adenocytes. These are the masses of lymphatic tissues which are present in your body. Significance of lymphatic system is that it maintains osmotic concentration, as well as it signals the whole body if there is any pathogen present in the tissue fluid or in the blood. So this is all for today. Take care everyone.